So, what is Project MKUltra? Imagine walking into a bar in San Francisco during the 1950s. You order a drink, chat with a stranger, and suddenly, your mind starts unraveling. Colors melt, time stretches, paranoia grips you. What you don't know is the CIA just spiked your cocktail with LSD. This isn't a movie. This is history. This is MKUltra. The basics. At its core, MKUltra was a secret program run by the CIA during the Cold War, officially starting in 1953. Its goal? To study mind control. The US government was terrified the Soviets or Chinese had figured out ways to manipulate human thoughts through drugs, hypnosis, or psychological torture. America wanted to get there first. This wasn't a small project either. It involved more than 150 sub-projects across universities, hospitals, prisons, and even brothels. Many of the people experimented on had no idea they were being used as test subjects. How it worked, the experiments. The CIA tested a cocktail of methods to see if they could break down and reprogram the human mind. Some of these included LSD, dosing people, sometimes volunteers but often unsuspecting citizens, with psychedelic drugs. The CIA hoped LSD could be used as a truth serum or even to erase and rebuild a person's identity. Hypnosis, attempts to control behavior and implant suggestions. Sensory deprivation and isolation. Subjects were locked in dark rooms or deprived of sound for days. Electroshock therapy, administered at high levels to wipe memory. Covert safehouses. In cities like San Francisco, the CIA ran brothels where sex workers were secretly paid to lure men in. Hidden cameras filmed everything after drinks were spiked with drugs. One infamous case involved a scientist named Frank Olson, who was dosed with LSD without his knowledge. Days later, he fell to his death from a hotel window. His family believes it wasn't an accident. History/origins. The roots of MKUltra lie in Cold War paranoia. After World War II, the US brought over Nazi scientists through Operation Paperclip. Many of them had experience in human experimentation, and their knowledge fueled early CIA programs. At the same time, the Korean War stoked fears of brainwashing. American POWs appeared to confess to crimes or adopt communist beliefs, and US officials panicked that the Soviets had some kind of psychological weapon. In response, CIA Director Allen Dulles approved MKUltra in 1953. The program was placed under the control of a chemist named Sidney Gottlieb, sometimes called the Black Sorcerer. He became infamous for his willingness to test anything that might bend the human mind. Impact/legacy. By the 1960s and 70s, MKUltra was sprawling across the country, but cracks began to show. Journalists and whistleblowers started asking questions. Then, in 1973, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered most MKUltra documents destroyed. Thousands of files went up in smoke. Still, some documents survived, and in 1975, the Church Committee, a Senate investigation, exposed MKUltra to the world. Americans were horrified. Their own government had drugged, tortured, and manipulated its own citizens. All in secret. The program officially ended in the early 1970s, but its shadow still looms large. Conspiracy theorists point to MKUltra whenever strange government projects or mass events occur. And in popular culture, MKUltra pops up in everything from movies like The Manchurian Candidate to TV shows like Stranger Things. Random facts. Some MKUltra experiments were carried out on prisoners who were promised reduced sentences, but many never fully recovered. Unwitting civilians in bars, universities, and hospitals were dosed with LSD just to see how they'd react. The CIA even tested whether electromagnetic waves could alter moods or behavior. Rock legend Ken Kesey, author of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, was a volunteer in MKUltra LSD trials. He later became a leader of the 1960s counterculture movement. Even though the program ended, some argue its spirit lived on in later covert projects. Conclusion. So, what is Project MKUltra? It was the CIA's attempt to turn science fiction into reality, to bend, break, and rebuild the human mind. Instead, it left a trail of ruined lives, unanswered questions, and the lingering fear of what governments do in the shadows. If you also like learning random things, subscribe. You have found your happy place. Poem, The Mind's Cage. In hidden rooms where shadows creep, they dosed the drink, disturbed the sleep. A secret war of thought and will, where silence screamed and time stood still. The truth was twisted, lives betrayed, in whispers dark, foundations laid. Though files were burned, the scars remain, a legacy of hidden pain. The mind's a cage, they sought the key, but freedom thrives in mystery. For secrets rot and empires fall, yet memory outlives them all.